Hi friends, and welcome back to You Can Yoga 2's Yoga Fundamentals. I really hope you're having fun so far, playing with the different poses that we've already introduced, because today we are doing my very favorite pose, Warrior 2. I'm pretty excited about it. All right, so we're gonna come to the long side of the mat, and you're gonna bring your feet nice and wide apart. So most of the time, people either have their legs too close together or too far apart here. So you wanna bring the feet as wide as you can until you almost feel like, but like right before that point. So you want to get to that edge where you feel like, I probably can't bring my feet out any wider than this. And that's where you want to stay. You can always adjust and bring your feet out wider or closer once you get into the poses. Remember, your feet aren't glued to the mat. So for now, take them out nice and wide. We're going to bring the hands to the hips, and we're going to turn the left toes to point out toward the short side of the mat. So if you look down, this heel, the left heel, if you drew a line, is going to intersect with the arch of the right foot. So that's the alignment you're looking for here in this pose. You're going to press into the outer edge of the right foot. So this is something really important that I'm going to say 100 times to really grind it into your brain, because that's the first thing we lose when we start adding on more stuff. So you want to start by pressing into that right heel and really pushing into the knife edge of that foot. Then we're going to keep the hands on the hips, and we're going to bend into this left knee. So as you bend, you want to look down, make sure the knee isn't going past the toes, and you want to make sure that the knee isn't coming in or caving out or anything like that. You want to make sure that it's stacked right over the ankle or in front of it. Again, you can always shorten the stance if this is a little too much heat building for you at this moment. So bending into that leg, pressing into the outer edge of the back foot, and then once you feel stable in your foundation, you can lift your arms up. Another good way to feel stable in your foundation here is to use the wall, and you can press the knife edge of the foot right up against the wall, and then bring the knee out this way. And then you have that little bit of extra support that the wall provides, and you can practice really pressing the edge of that foot into the wall. Another way to do that is to take your block, and we're going to put the block between the knee and the wall. So that's going to provide the pressure to keep that knee right where it needs to be. So you put it against the wall like this, line it up with your knee, and then bam. That's another way that you can learn your alignment, okay? You can also, like always, use our friend, the chair. So if you need a little more balance, a little more stability, just hold on to that sucker and do this. Remember, you never have to add the arms. So if this is too challenging for your shoulders right now, just keep the hands on the hips. It's not a big deal. Or you can shorten the lever, bring the elbows in this way, keeping the hands up. So you don't have to do your Warrior 2 pose or most of your poses in the Instagram ready traditional fashion, like we talked about. This yoga is meant to be adapted for you. Remember, this is all the container for the breath. So we're just trying to make these awesome shapes, okay? So let's try it on the other side. Bringing those left toes in, bringing the right toes out, hands come to the hips, press into the outer edge of that back foot, and then bend into that right knee. You can also just bring the right hand to the inner thigh in the beginning if that knee is being uncooperative. And then if you do add the arms come out straight and strong in both directions. So remember, this is Warrior 2. So just like in the mountain, we want to be the mountain. Think like the warrior. Strong legs, strong arms, calm face, calm breath. Amazing job. Bring the hands back to the hips, straighten through the right leg. Bring those right toes in, bring the left toes out. And we're gonna come to Warrior 2 on the second side and then go into our extended side angle. So we're gonna set up for our Warrior 2. So press into the outer edge of the foot, bend into that knee, and then we're gonna shift forward from the hips toward the left. And then from here, we're gonna bring the left forearm down to the top of the left thigh. We're gonna bring the right hand to the left shoulder, and I call this the bagel and schmear. This is a patented maneuver. We're gonna peel, you gotta schmear it. As you peel the chest open, bringing the right shoulder back, and then lift that right arm up. So you're trying to spin your belly up toward the ceiling, reaching that right arm up. And again, if this is no good in your shoulder, keep that hand on the hip. Or use any of those stabilizing practices that we used for our Warrior II legs. If you can tell, your legs are in the same shape they were in Warrior II. So we want to keep pulling that right shoulder back and open. And make sure not to completely dump into this right thigh. You want to maintain that little lift, still working that back foot, pressing into the right heel. Beautiful job. And then we'll press strongly through the left leg to come up. We're going to bring those left toes in, bring the right toes out. Second side. So inhale. We're going to get into our arms, either on the hips or out. Press into the outer edge of the foot, bending into that right knee. Strong legs here. We're going to shift forward with that right arm. Bring the right forearm to the top of the right thigh. Left hand comes to the right shoulder. We're going to peel that chest open. We're going to schmear that bagel. Here we go. And open. And then reach that arm up. So big breaths here. Don't forget about that back foot. Don't forget about the legs, even though we've added some upper body stuff here. And keep checking in. Check in with your body, check in with your breath, and check in with your brain. Is it still here with me, or did it wander off somewhere? If it did, that's totally okay. Just bring it on back. And then just like I grabbed onto your left hand and I pull it up, come back up to center, press through the right leg, right toes come in, and now we're in a wide-legged stance. So we're going to take a wide-legged forward fold. So we already did standing forward fold, we did seated forward fold, so now this is a wide-legged forward fold. So from our wide-legged stance, we're going to turn the toes gently, just a little teeny tiny bit, inward toward each other, and we're going to keep those knees soft. So again, we don't want to see this. We don't want to inhale up and then see this, right? This is not what we're looking for. So again, you want to keep the back nice and straight and tall, leading with the chest, hands come to the hips, and there's a few options here. So option one, reach down chest first, and you can just bring the forearms to the tops of the thighs. So this is going to help you get that belly to thigh action going when you start in your folds. So this is one of my favorites because it doesn't require any stuff. If you do want to add your stuff, you can add your chair and just bring the forearms down to the seat. You can also use the back of the chair. And then of course, your trusty blocks. So you can place those here, and then in your fold, reach chest first. Fingertips come right to the hips, right to those hinges. We start to fold forward, and then come on down, hiding your fingers, and then bringing the hands down to the blocks. And then once you're here, press into the outer edges of both feet, just like we were doing in our warrior poses, and keep those legs nice and firm. So lifting up on the hamstrings, or on the quadriceps, excuse me, while we stretch the hamstrings. And then just make sure that your head is relaxed. You can even give it a little shaky shake. Make sure that you're giving your neck a little break. So relaxing into your forward fold. Remember not to lock the knees. And to come out of this, we're going to reach the hands back to the small of the back. And then using the strength of the legs, pull up. Back to stand. Awesome job. So we learned a few new poses today. My favorite pose, Warrior II. We learned our extended side angle and our forward fold. So before you move on to the next video, make sure you play with those until it comes more natural and you don't have to every 2 seconds be like, oh, what am I doing with my foot? What am I doing with my toes? I don't know, where do my hands go? Just breathe and keep calm. And that's why they call it your yoga practice. So practice with these poses and you'll find the version that makes your body feel amazing. So thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next video. Have a beautiful day.